Never heard of this in your life?
3, 2, and go.
Hello, everybody! Keep it going for yourselves. Coming out here on a Wacky Wednesday. I'm your host, Sam Linderman. I'm also the comedy concierge. Please give it up for our producer, Jason Ham. And to our whole LA School comedy community. We just love you guys. My sister, thank you for letting me wear this sweater. My mom was like, don't let her wear it. She's never gonna bring it back. I was like, what are you doing? Are you bored? Don't start that. What are we doing? Today I filled out a bunch of forms. And it was like, once you do one thing that you put off, it's like all of a sudden I have to do like 5 more. And now I'm like, oh shit, I can't do anything for a week because people are gonna get used to that. You know what I mean? And now the expectations are gonna change. I had to ask one of my doctors makes me sound crazy, honestly, a little bit. I had to ask one of my doctors, like, oh, it takes a whole team, honestly, you guys, to make this happen. No, but you would never know. No, but you know, when I was applying to school the second time, I was like, I need some of that ADHD stuff. You know, I need like, not even like extra time sounds great. I mean, like, not really, because I'm an overthinker. Low-key less time, but I want, like, they give you study guides and stuff. I like had no idea that I could do that. For the ADHD people, I'm just saying, like, see what you can get. You know what I mean? Besides meds. Besides meds are crazy. It's so funny when you have to get meds and the pharmacist is like, okay, so I have to tell you about these side effects, but like, just click yes, okay? And you don't want to be like, can you please tell me? Because there's like 10 people behind you in line. They're like, please tell me. They're like, decreased interest in sex, weight gain, acne, breast tenderness, eyeball sweating. Like, it's just like, they're saying like that, and you're like, okay. And they're like, yeah, but there's only like a 60% chance that one of these will happen to you. You're like, cool. So I just love that. I mean, pharmaceuticals, it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. It's upsetting. I just mean that medicine, upsetting. It's horrible. I hate it. But I mean, obviously we need it. Like, I'm so glad that we have it. Like, I'm grateful for it. But the way that we give it out, I mean, it could be done a lot better. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. My sister just came back from summer camp. I have to keep declining them on their offer for me to be a counselor. I just can't go back to that life. You know what I mean? Like me, like, frolicking in the grass and tie-dyeing and, you know, heckling basketball games. Like, that's over. You know, I have to grow up. I have to, like, I can't do it. You guys need me here, right? Yeah. No, yeah. I couldn't do it, but it would have been cool. It would have been fun. I don't know. I like to think I like to think I could have really changed lives, you know, as a camp counselor. I had camp counselors that changed my life. I mean, the things that we put them through, it was really like, how do you even train people for that? There was one boy with one guitar, and he had blonde hair, and it was like down to here, so he like destroyed my whole bunk. Like, it was awful. Like, not like that, like, that's disgusting, but I'm just saying, like, he basically was like, had one, like, 3 of them had a crush, and like, he like would talk to one, but then like French the other, and I'm like, that's crazy, and they had to do like a bunk activity, like, oh my god, guys, we're doing a bunk activity, and it was like talking about our feelings. It was crazy. Like, I bet they had to do research, like, how do I fix this before the end of the summer so the parents don't complain. Yeah, and then they would have visitors day at camp. That was the worst. It was only 4 weeks, but like, visitors day, my parents would come. Obviously we'd get into a fight. I'd be like, this is the real me now, you know what I mean? I would like wear crop tops and stuff. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, this is me now. These are my new friends. And they didn't get it. And then by the time they were leaving, I was sobbing. I was like, please let me come with you. I don't want to be here. They don't know me. Like, I was freaking out. You know what I mean? Like, I was 16 at the end, you know? Like, that's like crazy. Like, all the little kids were fine. I was like, I want to go home so bad. The food's bad. Why are we in a tent? I know. I wasn't good at waking up early. You know, they would wake us up and I'd be like, what time is it? And they're like, time's arbitrary, like, live in the moment. And I was like, so I want you to tell me what arbitrary means right now. or I'm going to tell your boss that you're making out with the other counselor, and like, why did we have to see that? Like on our porch, you know what I mean? Like I felt like coming out in my like 10-year-old robe and being like, you know, I don't know. It was really, really upsetting, obviously at the time. And we also had a bunk activity about that. I mean, it was like the boys' bunk activities were like, let's put paint in balloons and throw them at each other, you know, and they had so much fun. And we were like, so it's my turn. I'm sorry, I'm holding the hairbrush. It's my turn. It's my turn. When you said that, it reminded me of what my dad said 5 years ago. Like crazy shit that I'm like, wow. Girls were really crazy. Okay, I'll end with this. We played this one game on our own, like unfacilitated. There was this girl. There was always one girl who was like, I'm in college. I was like, we were 12. We were looking back. She was probably taking one class, you know, at community college. But she was like, I'm in college. I'm gonna be a doctor. We were playing a game, and she was like, if all of us were in a fire, and you could only save one, who would it be? We all say her, right? She said me. And you know what this girl said? She goes, Sam, I would save you because you make people laugh. And I was like, fuck you, bitch, I could be a doctor too. No, I'm kidding. But I'm like, I make people laugh? Like what? Was that like the Jewish answer of you? Like what are you trying to do? Like win Torah points? I'm so happy to be here with you guys tonight. This is summer camp. This is school. This is LA School of Comedy. Let's give it up for Sunda Kronquist, the whole Zafran family. We miss you guys. We love you. And who's ready for the comedy of the one and only Aaron McIntyre?
Big crowd here tonight. Hey, back there. Hello, my name is Aaron McIntyre. No, actually, my name is Jasper. And I parked my rig back in the back there. I blocked somebody in, so just let me know if you need me to move it. No, it is Aaron. A-E-R-O-N. It's not the normal way. I am changing it, though, because I get so much fucking A-A-Ron out there that it's really annoying. So I'm going to make it A-E-Ron. And it's just going to be a separate A, capital E, Ron. A-E-Ron. Let's see here. So I've mentioned this before. I haven't had sex in like 2 years, 14 years. It's been 14 years, but that's dog years, so that's what makes it 2. It's been a long time, but I did move down here a little while ago, and I started a pretty hot and heavy affair with my friend's bidet. It kind of got out of control. The thing is I can't really tell them, because I don't want them to, first of all, I don't want them to know that we've got a relationship, because they could do something about that, kind of kibosh, put a kibosh on the whole thing, put something over the toilet seat so I can't use it, and I can't take her home to my parents because they're dead. But, a lot of people are talking about, the age difference, because I'm an older gentleman, if you haven't noticed that. I'm a little bit older than her, but I mean, please, she's seen way more ass than I have, if you know what I'm saying. But kind of, since I moved out from their house, I can't really see her as often as I used to, so I have to go over every once in a while under some can I borrow a cup of sugar? Well, you live fucking 10 miles away. What are you coming all the way here for sugar for? But we've been texting. She and I have been texting back and forth, and so she's like, "Oh, shh, psh, 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 psh." I'm like, "Yeah, talk squirty to me, baby." Yeah, squirty. You heard correctly. But since that's happened, now I've got a kind of a thing going with my GPS. I love it when women tell me what to do. Move over there. No, that's not right. and that's what she does. But I did think that they should change the GPSs. You know, I was thinking they should, you know, have some sort of personalities. I know that there have been some where they're like, you know, we're gonna get Sylvester Stallone as a voice, you know, and you go turn up here, you know. But I think it would be a good idea to have like, you know, Jewish mother, Jewish grandmother. You know what? You turned right. You should have turned left. What's the matter with you? Oh my God! What? You're gonna give me a heart attack. I thought that would be good. What else? I have. Last week I had a pretty big week, really big week. I went to Disneyland on my daughter's birthday, which was cool, except for there were thousands of people there because somebody had said that they were giving people from Anaheim free admission, and so a bunch of people showed up. So it was that was pretty bad. But then Friday, I jumped out of a motherfucking airplane. 13,000 feet, baby. Wow. 13,000 feet. It was the most amazing thing I've ever done. And I got pictures to prove it. And a little certificate as well. I went with my daughter. My daughter's she's a trendsetter. She's very confident, very out there, and she's boy crazy. You know, she just loves boys. So much so that on her dive, she actually made out with the instructor, the guy who was on her back, and I was like, how in the fuck did you do that? Because they're on your back, and apparently they started a conversation after he popped the chute, you know, and they're going down, and he goes, you know, you're really pretty, and she goes, yeah, well, you're not so bad yourself. And she said, I was making a joke with my dad because she had told me that she's done this twice before, and she told me, every time I go there, man, the pilots and all of the jumpers, they're so fucking hot. And I'm like, okay, great, thanks for letting me know that. And she goes, I wonder if they're going to be hot today. I was like, I have no idea. We'll see. Turns out he was hot. You know, he was pretty hot. But on the way down, he said, you know, you're really pretty. And she said, yeah, well, you're not so bad yourself. And we were talking about, you know, how all of the other guys were hot. And, you know, I had a really hot guy the last time and then another hot guy the time before. And he goes, well, did you ever kiss him? And she goes, no, you want to try it? And so they did. And and now, on the way home, and I didn't know this. She didn't tell me any of this. We get in the car, and all of a sudden, she's looking on her phone, and she goes, yeah, it looks like he's an electrical engineer, and he blah, 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 and he went to this school, and da-da-da. Oh, and he's got a website where he's, you know. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you're like stalking this guy. And then she sits there for about another hour, and then about an hour later, she goes, I have something to tell you. And she told me, and I was like, wow, thanks for sharing about that. I'm so proud. And now she's actually going down to Santa Barbara again to spend the day with him. So, you know, that I think would be kind of wouldn't that be a romantic story in the future? It's like the first time we ever kissed was when we were fucking jumping from 13,000 feet. I mean, you can't beat that shit. My daughter knows how to handle herself. She is a prison guard in a kiddie prison for kiddie murderers and kiddie rapists and things like that. So she knows how to handle herself. So I'm not too worried about her. But I do have to say that when she comes to the United States, which she's here for a little while, you know, it's a little difficult because, you know, she's telling me when to go to bed and when to get up and when to eat. And she's always fucking spending all my commissary money, you know? She's like, everything is like, oh, I got a drink, card over to him. So that's kind of breaking my bank account right now. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I'm gonna stop there. I'm feeling sated. sated, for lack of a better word. All right. Thanks very much. My name is Aaron McIntyre, AARON MACINTYRE.
Keep it going for Aaron, everybody. I think that is a cute meet cute, but it's also like it's hard to top that. You know what I mean? Like if he has to propose, like what do? You know what I mean? It's like a football game and like you're on the Jumbotron and she's like, but our first kiss was in the air. I don't know, that's just how my brain works. But I am so excited for this next comedian. Could be the last, you never know what's gonna happen. Cue somebody walk through the door. No, I'm kidding. That happened last night, or no, Monday night. Why do I keep saying that? I keep thinking yesterday was Monday. Tuesdays are lame. This next comedian isn't. You know his name, Anya. Come on! Woo!
That's crazy. That's funny.
Was I right? Come on in.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so. We always know. This people always come late.
Hi.
Is that Barack Obama? No. Okay. Well, always got to shoot high. Close enough. To top that, kissing in the air, I feel like air is cooked. He has to just like propose underwater. That'd be a fire option. I don't know any other elements that would be safe to propose in, but air is cooked. You can't do air no more. Shit, bruh. I don't know. Sam was talking about camp. Camp is an experience, but 4 weeks of camp, that sounds like your parents really just didn't want to see you for a little bit. That's intense. I've never camped for that long. That's insane. I mean, that's beautiful though. I mean, I love that for you and that experience. How many times did you go to camp?
So like 9 summers.
That's 9 months. Like they basically like canceled out the months you were developing. That's crazy. 9 months is tough. I mean, not consecutively, of course, but that's still crazy. There's just like a month out of the. As a parent, I don't know. That's wild. I'm not a parent. I wouldn't know anything about the parent experience, but that's just insane to give your child away for a month. But it's probably relaxing. Just like go back to the time before they existed. I don't know. Again, I have no kids. I don't know what that's like. I did camp, but I did. Was that Jewish camp?
It was.
It was. Yeah, I went to Christian camp. Opposing religions controversy. I went to Christian camp, but I only went for it was just a week. Honestly, now that I think about it, I think it was just like a long weekend. I don't even think it was a full week, but. You can go through a lot in a short amount of time. I swear, I think that Christian camp was a lot because it was just like I went with my Nigerian church because being a Nigerian, of course, you go to multiple churches every Sunday growing up, which is insane. It's just like double the blessings, double the religion, double the dedication. It was intense. I don't know, but we went with our Nigerian church. We went to a Christian camp that was mostly white. So it was very interesting of an experience because I don't think I'd ever seen white people for an extended period of time like that. It was intense. I learned a lot about white culture during that time. The amount of showers was shockingly low for the amount of days we were there. I was just like, guys, it's here. Like they have showers. Like it's a whole thing we can use. But no one was interested except for the Nigerian church, which is crazy. I got in actually what I consider to be my first like real fight at Christian camp. But I was young. I was in middle school. So it's like we weren't fighting for any real like reasons. I think we were fighting because like this kid said some wrestler was better than this other wrestler that I liked. It was a very stupid fight. There was no purpose to it. But I for sure, like, I remember winning the fuck out of that fight. Like, it was not fair. Like, but it's like back then, it wasn't like about punching. It was just like overpowering people. And this kid was just like freakishly small. Like he developed so much slower than everyone else. But he had I remember him just talking so much shit this entire camp. And like, I'm really calm. Even back then, I was a very calm individual. Like, I had anger problems because I was competitive. But outside of that, like, I was really chill. But like this one conversation, I think it was like the buildup of just like all the shit he talked. And then it was just like, he said something about like, he's like, oh, Randy Orton could never beat this guy. I was like, I took it. I'm so offended. I don't know. It's like all this shit. I don't know why I cared so much. Like Randy Orton has no connection to my family line, but I was so pressed. So pressed. I was bad. Also realized white people like waking up early in the morning and jumping into the lake. As a black person, I had no interest in that activity. Like, oh, we'll go polar bearing. I was like, what the fuck is that? So you wake up at the like crack of dawn, like 5 a.m. You run to the like lake and you jump in. Like it's like how you start your day. I was like, you guys are not showering consistently, but you'll wake up early as fuck. And I don't get it. I don't get it. But again, it wasn't my culture to get. Being competitive, I'm freakishly good at ping pong. Freakishly good. It's weird. I didn't even expect to be good at ping pong. It was like I picked up the paddle and immediately I was locked in. To the point now where like I'll be like midway drunk at a party and there's a ping pong table, like I'm just challenging. Like people are playing beer pong, I'm like, move all that shit out the way. Let's get serious. I don't know why I'm like that. Speaking of I don't know things I don't know, I really don't get. I don't know if you guys know what icks are. Icks are like it's basically like a thing about you or about somebody that just like makes somebody completely not want to like them anymore. Like if you like somebody and they do this thing, like it completely turns you off. And I am in a generation of women who have weird and unusual icks. It doesn't make sense. I mean, something makes sense, you know, it's like, oh, if somebody, again, doesn't shower consistently, that's a fair ick. I get that. Like that's gross. You need to shower most days. But some of the icks that I see in our generation is weird. Like one girl told me like an ick she had was guys using gift cards. I was very confused. Guys using gift cards. I'm like, what? Like, how do you react to getting a gift card at your birthday or something to not turn your girl off? Like somebody give you an ick card, like a gift card, and you just like, oh nah, bro, I got money. Like, I'm good. Like, how do you react to getting a gift card? Like, you talking about the money that I got to use this specific establishment is turning you off for me to use it here in this establishment? Like, the card literally has the logo. I don't get it. I never got it. But I don't know. I grew up in a generation where I don't know. I feel like I discovered the first ever like food ordering app wasn't even like designed as that. Like in college, I would see like my homegirl, she would just post on her story on Snapchat. She was like craving boba. 10 minutes later, she's posting a photo with the boba. I'm like, how does that shit happen? She said, oh yeah, somebody just swiped up and they told me they got it. So me at this time, I was still a bio major. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm not just going to assume that this is just her. My hypothesis was maybe if I do it, it'll work for me too. I had a whole scientific method for this shit. Ran the experiment. My whole process was, you know, I posted on mine. I did mine earlier than her, like 6 o'clock, craving pizza. Something cool, something light. You know, I ain't too picky. I ain't say what pizza, you know, just craving pizza. About 11 o'clock, I concluded the search because at that time, they stopped delivering to my area. And I knew it wasn't going to happen for me. Immediately I discovered it's different. You got to be an attractive woman to get that benefit. But speaking of being an attractive woman, I had to deal with this shit growing up and going to college because I grew up very strict. Like my parents was like really strict. Like again, being a pastor, Nigerian, my dad was ridiculously strict. And when I got to college, you know, my thought process was different because all these kids had freedom. I couldn't even really go out until I was in college. So it was like things was different for me. So like everyone's like doing drugs, you know, all this crazy stuff, drinking alcohol, da da da. I'm like, let's go to Claire's, let's get our ears pierced, let's show our parents, you know, we're doing wild shit, you know, for me. I got my ears pierced. It wasn't a big fucking deal. No one cared, you know. It was only cool for like a week. You know, I like posted my little Snapchat filter to make it shine like a real diamond, like it wasn't from fucking Claire's. Fucking stupid. But when I got back home, it was crazy because I was like, my dad picked me up from Amtrak because he didn't want me driving, so I took the train back. And I had my like Beats over-ear headphones on, right? We chilling, just sleep in the car type shit. I knew something was bad because like when I was asleep, I heard something that no African child wants to hear, bro. I heard something. It was crazy. I'm just asleep. That's what I hear. Obina, it's time to send this boy home. It's time to send him home. He's lost his mind. This boy has lost his mind. I wake up. I'm like, what, did my grades come in? Like, what are you tweaking for? Like, I thought I had another week to like intercept. You know, I didn't know what was going on. So what is that? Are you trying to be a woman? I said, am I trying to be a woman, Dad? With a full beard? Like, I feel like I'm failing if that's my goal. Like, not that women can't have beards, but I feel like if I was going to make the transition, I would really have to push a little more, try a little harder. I don't think it was ever given women. Maybe R&B artist, but never woman. I don't know. Man, I don't know what I want to close on. Shit's just been weird, y'all. Shit's weird, man. Why? I'm not a supporter of Trump at all, but why did this man go to that Black Journalism Conference? If y'all haven't seen it, please watch it, because this is like, I've never seen somebody walk into like a minefield as blindly and confidently as Trump at that convention. It was crazy. He thought that was gonna go well. There's no world in which that could have went well for him. I don't know. They're literally journalists, and they're black. And he's like, oh, I've done the most for black people. And the crowd is like, oh, like it's like Mari. Like no one is in support. It's crazy. It was crazy. If you haven't seen it, please. That's the rest of my set. Go watch Trump at that convention. It was so bad for him. But shout out to y'all for being here. We're bringing Sam back to the stage. Clap it for Sam real quick. Clap it for Sam.
One more time for Anya, everybody. It's okay. One time my parents had to pick me up from the Amtrak station, and I had shaved my head because I was like in college, and I was like, how can I really just I can't think of it. It was attention, and honestly, and so then I pursued this. But I shaved my head and I had these smiley faces on them. Like I let people paint them. I was like, oh my God, let me make this school an art school, and it wasn't. But my dad, he picked me up from the Amtrak. He was like, you look homeless, get in the car. And I was like, the sweater's thrifted. No, I'm kidding. But I am so excited to bring up this last comedian. Please give it up for the comedy of Sylvester.
How you guys doing today?
Good.
And not to correct you, but it's Sylvester. Sylvester. It's all right. It's all right. Let me ask you guys this. Am I the only one who doesn't feel right giving fat homeless people money? It just doesn't feel right. I don't know if it doesn't feel like they need it. It doesn't feel like they need it. They don't seem like they're in stress. Or is it a hate crime to write homeless go home on their cardboard? I don't know. Some of these homeless people, they got to, I don't know, the way some of their boxes are built, it's like they're ex-architects that went on crack. Because they know what they're doing. And I'm not saying all homeless people are bad or anything like that, but you will get a good deal from a homeless person here and there. All those bikes they have. I bought a $2,000 bike from a homeless guy for 2 bags of cans and a half-eaten sandwich. I went back the next day to get the bike, and the back tire was on flat. So you know what I did? I took another bite out the sandwich. Today's price is not yesterday's price. So this year, I did 2 new things this year. One thing, I had a drink for the first time this year in my life, a drink for the first time. And I also drove the bus part-time. So to drive the bus, you're gonna need a drink. Dealing with the public. Now, I was down in Hermosa Beach, and I went to a farmer's market, and the guy had some wine out. He called us over there to come taste the wine tasting or whatever. So I'm not a drinker, but he kept on telling us where the wine is from, what country it's from, how long it was aged, and how they make it. But what sold me on tasting the wine was, he told me the vines the wine come from are over 500 years old. I said, okay, let me try this. So when I tasted it, I knew he wasn't lying. Because I can taste the slavery in it. Every time I took a sip, a whip appeared across my back. It hurt, but it was so good. Also, with driving the bus, you guys know dealing with the public is hell. So on the bus one day, I'm driving the bus, and 2 guys get on the bus. One homeless guy and one guy with a parrot on his shoulder. So the homeless guy gets on the bus, he didn't pay, gets on, the other guy pays. So about 20 minutes into the drive, the homeless guy wants me to let him off the bus at a non-stop, just at a red light. I'm like, sir, I can't do that. I gotta wait till you get to the stop sign. So he gets mad, he gets belligerent, he starts talking about me. But before he gets off the bus, he looks at me, he says, you drive like a girl. I'm like, all right, no big deal, no big deal. But that wasn't the bad part. The bad part was the man with the parrot, his parrot heard that. So the parrot kept on going over and over. Drive like a girl, drive like a girl, drive like a girl. I'm like, all right. So about 5 minutes into this, I said, get tired of this. So I turn around, look at the parrot, and I say, hey, I hear parrots taste like chicken. So you can tell he got real mad, his feathers got ruffled. And he wanted to call me a name, but I hear parrots can't pronounce the letter N. Also, I'm a 52-year-old single man in Los Angeles. And dating, it can be rough. It can be rough sometimes. But I haven't had any children. And I think the reason I never had any children because I only date women with IUDs, hysterectomies, or their tubes tied. So I think that's keeping me away from children. But dating in Los Angeles, you want to make it right. You want it to fit. Like when I'm with somebody, I want it to be like peanut butter and jelly. I want it to be like blacks and chicken, Hispanics and tacos, Asians and UCLA. I want it to be just like that. And speaking of Asians, I don't know if y'all saw the news this morning. There was an Asian guy in South Carolina that killed his professor. And I'm thinking, how mad can you get over A-? So things are rough, but it is tough dating because women, they say they want the truth, but I don't really think you want the truth. And you guys ask a lot of questions. I was with this girl one time, and the date went well. Then we came all the way back to my place to watch Netflix and have a drink or whatever. So everything was going well until she started asking questions. She said, Silvestri, I'm not trying to get in your business, but how come none of these doors have knobs on the inside? I was like, okay, here you go with the question. You had to ruin it. I wasn't going to kill you till after the movie because I heard it had a good ending. But there you go. And even with my ex-girlfriend, nobody wants to know the truth. She says, what are you going to give me for my birthday this year? So my response was, you still got your teeth, don't you? So, you know, that's the scene of my dating life. But also with kids. I don't have any kids, and maybe one day I might. So I went and picked up my nephew one day. I said, well, if just in case I have some kids, let me be around a kid and learn how to interact with one. So my sister dropped him off. He went into my room and played video games. And she said, you don't got to worry about him. If he's hungry, he'll come ask, and he'll be on that game all day. So about 10 minutes later, my nephew comes out the room and he says, Uncle, I'm feeling kind of warm. Can you give me something to cool me off? I go get something, send him back to his room. So he comes back out and he says, you know, I'm not sure if you read this, but this is not Gatorade. This says antifreeze. I was like, well, it keeps a car cool. I figure it keeps a kid cool. So that still wasn't my last chance trying. So I went and got my niece. I said, let me try a little girl. Maybe I'm better with a little girl. So her birthday was coming up one day, and she showed me a catalog with the Barbies in it. So I said, all right, pick out whatever Barbie you like, and I'll get it for you. So we're going through the catalog, and she says, this one. I like, that one? Yeah, this one. That's the one I like. She picked out a Barbie that was in a wheelchair. So I was like, well, I thought little girls pick out Barbies they want to grow up and be one day. You plan on getting hit by a truck or something? Why would you want this? If you want something to scoot around, I can get you a race car. But also, I said, look, let's look through the book. I said, if you want to be in politics, they have a Michelle Obama Barbie. You can pick that one. If you want to be a poet, they got a Maya Angelou Barbie. You can pick that one. I said, if you want to be a singer, they got the Whitney Houston Barbie. You just can't play with it in the bathtub. All these things you can get. But I was like, I had to get a dope with her. I said the real reason I don't want to get the Barbie, because if I get that Barbie in the wheelchair, I got to drive all the way downtown, go get some permits, because we're going to have to put ramps in the playhouse. And I don't want to do that. All right, everybody, my name is George Silvestri, and that was my time. Thank you.
Keep it going, you guys. It's been a fabulous Wacky Wednesday. I'm so glad you guys all came tonight. And see you hopefully Friday. And one more time for Jason. And we'll see you soon. Bye.